We don't know. We don't know what's going on. Um, we need to get a deal done and stop with all this foolishness. Stop with all this 3-on-3 and all of this other stuff, man. Get a deal done so that we can start the real games. Okay, people are getting hurt left and right. It was a
Ladies and gentlemen, brace yourselves for a nightmare scenario. For the past 3 months, we've been drowning in boardroom politics, analyzing collective bargaining agreements, revenue shares, salary caps, and the stunning, unprecedented incompetence of the WNBA Players Association. We've stared at spreadsheets, fretted over potential lockouts, and obsessed over financial minutiae. And while we were distracted by the circus of money, the true catastrophe, the doomsday event every Indiana Fever fan has dreaded, just happened on a random court in Miami, Florida. Aliyah Boston, the former #1 overall pick, Rookie of the Year, the undisputed anchor of the Indiana Fever, and Caitlin Clark's single most important teammate, has gone down with an injury. But it's not just the injury that's shocking. It's how the situation is being handled, the suppression, manipulation, and outright secrecy surrounding the medical details. The league's response is one of the most appalling cover-ups in modern professional sports. Consider the irony. Remember why the unrivaled league was launched. Breanna Stewart and Nafisa Keir promised a sanctuary for players, a league designed to protect them from the grind of overseas play in Russia, Turkey, and other demanding international leagues. Unrivaled was supposed to offer six-figure salaries, lighter schedules, and safer conditions to preserve players' health for the WNBA season. And yet, the reality is a bloodbath. Players are dropping like flies. Caleb McBride suffered a career-altering injury overseas. And now, the unrivaled league, built on the promise of safety, has just taken out the cornerstone of the Indiana Fever franchise, weeks before the WNBA season even begins. But the injury isn't even the most outrageous part. Injuries happen in basketball. It's a physical sport. No, the truly infuriating part is the league's pathetic, vague, and insulting medical update released to the public. Enough to make every sports journalist demand answers.
Aliyah Boston, who left Phantom BC's last regular season game with injury, has been ruled out for the rest of the season due to a right lower extremity injury. That is very vague. That could be that could be a sore calf. That could be an Achilles. That could be an ankle, a foot. We don't know what's going on. It could be a knee. We don't know what lower extremity. What that's very vague. That's very.
A right lower extremity injury. Are you kidding me? What kind of amateur hour, Bush League medical statement is that? We are in 2026. We have MRI machines, advanced sports science, detailed diagnostics. When a professional athlete goes down, teams usually give specifics: a grade 2 ankle sprain, a meniscus tear, a bruised calf, plus a clear timeline. But when a league puts out a press release saying a star player suffered a lower extremity injury, that is not medical reporting. That's a PR smokescreen. A deliberate, calculated effort to hide catastrophic news from the public, from sponsors, and yes, from the Indiana Fever front office. Language this vague immediately triggers alarm bells in the minds of orthopedic specialists. Lower extremity is code. It's the euphemism teams use when a player tears an Achilles, shreds an ACL, or ruptures a patellar tendon. They hide the truth because admitting it would expose the brutal reality. Breanna Stewart's 3-on-3 exhibition league just permanently altered the trajectory of a billion-dollar WNBA franchise. Unrivaled has only 3 days left in their season. If Aliyah Boston had just tweaked an ankle or felt a minor soreness, they'd say she's sitting out the last 3 games for rest and precaution. But they didn't. She's ruled out completely, and the league refuses to give specifics. They're hiding the severity because they're terrified that the Indiana Fever front office, USA Basketball, and millions of Caitlin Clark fans will realize that this so-called safe league is actually a dangerous hazard to the sport's true superstars. And the impact on the court in Indianapolis? Catastrophic. For Caitlin Clark fans, this is gut-wrenching. Basketball is a game of synergy, of geometry. An elite point guard cannot thrive without a dominant, skilled role player setting screens and finishing plays. John Stockton needed Karl Malone. Magic Johnson needed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Caitlin Clark desperately needs Aliyah Boston. But not the Aliyah Boston we saw last season. We're talking about the evolved, lethal version that was being forged during this offseason. The footage from the 3-on-3 league shows exactly what Boston was bringing to the court and underscores the devastating tactical hole now facing the Fever.
Percent from behind the arc shows her game is continuing to grow and develop, which should bode well for the Fever. Listen, if she's going to be shooting and making threes when she's doing that pick and pop, pick and roll with Caitlin Clark, when Caitlin Clark is getting blitzed and all that, oh man, it's going to be over. It's going to be over. It's literally going to be over.
She was shooting 33% from beyond the three-point line. Do you understand the nightmare that creates for opposing WNBA coaches? Last season, teams blitzed Caitlin Clark the moment she crossed half court, sending 2, or even 3, defenders at her because they knew the paint would be empty. But if Aliyah Boston, a massive, imposing center, can step out to the three-point line and consistently knock down shots, the defense collapses entirely. You can no longer double-team Caitlin Clark. If you do, she finds Aliyah, and Aliyah hits the 3. If you stay home on Aliyah, Caitlin gets a one-on-one matchup and pulls up from the logo. It's an unguardable, unsolvable offensive equation. That pick-and-pop synergy was the ultimate weapon, the key to unlocking a WNBA championship in 2026. And now, it's in total jeopardy. Why? Because Aliyah Boston went down in a seemingly meaningless exhibition game against Rose, BC in February. If this is a torn ACL or ruptured Achilles, the Indiana Fever's championship window closes before it even officially opens. Caitlin Clark will be forced to endure another grueling season facing double teams, triple teams, and sheer physical exhaustion because her primary offensive partner is on a surgeon's table. And the ripple effects extend far beyond Indianapolis. USA Basketball has a mandatory training camp starting March 6th in Miami, followed by the FIBA World Cup qualifying tournament on March 11th in Puerto Rico. This was supposed to be the global stage for Caitlin Clark and Aliyah Boston to dominate together, building chemistry and excitement for Team USA. Caitlin is locked in, but Aliyah's status is now completely uncertain. A lower extremity injury that sidelines her for an entire season on February 27th cannot magically clear her to attend an Olympic-level training camp 5 days later. She's going to miss Team USA, the reps, and the opportunity to represent her country, all because of a 3-on-3 tournament. And the timing couldn't be crueler. The WNBA is a house on fire. CBA negotiations are a toxic mess. Agents are at war with the union. Rank-and-file players are revolting against leadership. And the owners have issued a hard March 10th ultimatum. The entire league teeters on the brink of a lockout that could destroy the momentum of the Caitlin Clark era. And right in the middle of this unprecedented chaos, the next generation's most vital big woman goes down with a mysterious, potentially season-ending injury. The host of the video captures the overwhelming dread of this moment perfectly, an anxiety no Fever fan or basketball fan can ignore.